everybody. Welcome back to the Just Breathe vlog. Hoping everybody's doing well since the last installment. My name is Karen Lewis, and I am a life transition coach and a mindfulness and meditation coach and trainer and guide. And today we're going to talk a little bit about a Tibetan Buddhist practice called Tonglen. So let me get my notes up here. The theme really, Tonglen is a practice. It's a meditation practice. And really my goal with these sessions is to introduce you to a lot of different mindful meditation practices. We've walked through rain meditation guided by Tara Brach or inspired by Tara Brach. We've done meditations inspired by Jack Kornfield and Sharon Salzberg. That was the metta or loving kindness meditations. We've done breath meditations. We've done mountain meditations inspired by Jon Kabat-Zinn and the visualization of nature and mountains. And so I'm trying to give you an overall feeling of different types of mindful meditation practices so that you can get an idea of what fits for you and what you like. So today the theme is really about releasing or letting go. And there's lots of ways to release or letting go. There's physically, where you can shake your willies out, you can go for a run. Those are like physical ways to sort of release if you have tension in your body or if you need to let go. Emotionally, we can cry, we can scream. And screaming is sort of crossover between emotional and physical. But mentally, how do we let go? I mean, people often have trouble with this, right? We talked last week about forgiveness. So what is it about letting go mentally? And, part of the mindfulness practice is aiding in letting go. And we do that through acceptance, radical acceptance. I am where I am now based on everywhere I have been. I needed those things to happen to get me to here. I don't have to condone them, but I can accept that they happened and move forward. Gratitude. Gratitude is great for trying to learn to let go, to release. And all of these require a gentle repetition. Gently, compassionately, and really persistently coming back to a sense of peace, a sense of presence. And often we do that by focusing on the breath or one of these mindfulness practices. So Tonglen is the practice of breathing in and releasing. So it is a practice that focuses on breath and specifically a compassionate practice of breathing. It is, as I think I mentioned before, a Tibetan Buddhist practice. And this one is inspired by a woman named Pema Chodron, who has a beautiful retreat monastery. She is a Buddhist, Tibetan Buddhist nun, and she has a beautiful monastery out in Nova Scotia. So Tonglen is a way of awakening your compassion, and the intention is to really introduce you to a far bigger view of reality. So by doing this practice, we begin to connect with an openness. We open our hearts and we send out what we find in there. We can begin by sending it to ourselves. We can move forward to sending it to people that we know and love, maybe to people that we come in contact with but we don't know so well. And then, eventually sending it out to people we don't know. And then sending it out to everyone. And that's a similar process to what we go through in a metta or loving kindness meditation. But Tonglen is about taking and sending. And the idea is that we reverse our usual way of thinking. So usually in Western culture, we think about avoiding suffering and seeking pleasure. And I know you might not like this, but in Tonglen practice, we visualize taking in pain, taking in our own pain, taking in the pain of others with every breath, and then sending out whatever will benefit them, whatever will benefit us on the out breath. And in the process, we become liberated from selfishness, and we begin to feel love for both ourselves and others. And we really begin to take care of ourselves and others. So Tonglen can be done for people who are sick, people who are, in the stages of passing, or it can be done for any kind of pain. So it's done as a formal meditation practice, or it can be done right on the spot. How often, or I don't know if you have, but I have, I'm out walking and I see someone that's clearly in pain. Their life is in a place where they're suffering. And you can kind of breathe in their suffering and then offer out to them with your out breath, whatever it is. Maybe it's compassion, maybe it's relief, maybe it's calmness, whatever it is. So you kind of take some of theirs and then you release to them something beautiful that can help them. So why it's different is because, we're usually trained to look away from someone that's suffering, with the fear that their pain will bring us fear, or we're afraid of it, or it makes us angry in some way. So by doing Tonglen for all these people, just like ourselves, we wish to be compassionate instead of afraid. We wish to be brave instead of scared. So rather than beating ourselves up, we can use our personal stuckness, if that's a word, as a stepping stone to understanding what everyone in the world, all people are up against. So we breathe in for all of us, and we breathe out for all of us. We use what seems like poison as medicine. So you can use your own personal suffering as a path to compassion for all beings. So the Tonglen practice has 4 stages, and I'm thinking that I'm not really going to go through the stages. I'm going to let you experience the stages in our practice. But maybe I'll just give you a little tidbit, which is, at first you just want to rest your mind like we normally do in a state of openness and stillness, to really feel an awakened heart, an awakened mind. So I challenge you to have the intention, if it feels comfortable for you, to open up. And then just begin by breathing in darkness and heaviness, and breathing out coolness and brightness and light, a sense of freshness. And taking in that negative energy, and then breathing out a positive energy. So, and this is part of a visualization, that you synchronize it with your breath, breathing in pain and suffering, breathing out calmness, acceptance, joy, compassion. And you can focus on a situation that's painful and real to you. However, if you're stuck, the practice, you can do it for somebody else. And if you're feeling inadequate, you can breathe in that for yourself, because you know that all people feel inadequate at some point. We're all in the same boat. And so we send out confidence for ourselves and for everybody else. And then sort of the final part of it is you're taking in and sending out bigger. So if you're doing Tonglen for someone you love, you're extending it out to those who are in all the same situation as the person you love. So you're doing Tonglen for someone you see on the television or on the street, but you're also doing it for all the other people who are in the same boat. You're making it bigger than just one person. So Tonglen, again, it's about awareness, it's about letting go, it's about release, it's about extending to infinity. And as you do the practice, your compassion naturally expands over time. So again, I'm always suggesting that you go at your own pace, and you might be surprised to find yourself more and more able to be there for others, even if it has in the past felt like a difficult situation. And then finally, Tonglen is a heart meditation, as you see. I keep going up here and talking about compassion. It's full of compassion. And as you're sitting, sit in a way that's kind. Be gentle with yourself. and really explore what comes up for you as you experience the Tonglen meditation. That is the awareness of meditation, of mindfulness, which is so spectacular. It's not only about breathing in and breathing out compassion. It's not only about expanding and opening your heart, but it's also being aware of how that feels for you. What is that like in the moment for you without judgment, right? And with compassion for yourself. Is this a beautiful process that you enjoy? Is this a difficult process that you're not enjoying? Why? What is it about it that's difficult for you? Where is that block? Anyway, let's begin. So, let me find the meditation. And as always, I ask you to find a comfortable position. You can be sitting or lying down, as long as you're alert. And breathing in and breathing out. And as I like to say, if your eyes are open or closed, but if you're comfortable, find those outer corners of your mouth and have them turn upward, just gently, just slightly, into a small smile. And see how that feels for you. And if that brings the intention of joy to this meditation, because this is truly a gift that you give yourself. I'm going to start with a bell and let your mind rest in openness and stillness. Just begin to breathe in completely and fully. Just take in a big, heavy, dark breath. And breathe out some lightness, letting it move out and around, perhaps over some mountains, the ocean, all across the world. And breathing in again, dark, hot, heavy. And breathing out, light, cool, and refreshing. Just let it radiate out 360 degrees, panorama, whole wide way. Inhaling and exhaling. You can do this until it really feels synchronized with the breath. Heaviness and darkness coming in, freshness and lightness going out. Take a deep in-breath and then relax into an expansive out-breath. Experiencing your breath and how it moves through your nose into your chest, down to your belly, and how it switches around and moves out from your belly up through the diaphragm, the chest, and tingles out past your nose. Just opening your being to the darkness heavy and the painful. As you breathe in, and then just let it go, sending out a sense of freshness and light. We're going to start this Tonglen practice in a little more non-traditional way by focusing on the self, just to get the hang of how it works. So think of a quality that you can benefit from and inhale it. So perhaps the quality is acceptance, or calmness, or compassion. And inhale this acceptance, or calmness, or compassion. And as you exhale, let go of judgment, agitation, fear. Just try to feel this in the breath. Or if you're a more visual person, you can visualize maybe the energy coming in and out of the body, or the words coming in and flowing out. So you're breathing in whatever quality it is you choose: acceptance, calmness, compassion, or something else. And as you breathe out, you release any criticism, judgment, agitation, fear, the opposite of whatever it is you're bringing in. If you're breathing in forgiveness for yourself, then you might be exhaling resentments, the holding on. You're not pushing it away, just opening your hands and letting it go, just letting it move out of you. If you're breathing in some gentleness or kindness, metta, then maybe you're letting go of ill will, that little mean part of your mind that sometimes pops up. So inhaling loving kindness and metta, and letting go of meanness or ill will. Just take a few moments to practice in silence and ask yourself what you need and what it is the opposite that you can benefit from letting go of. Maybe it's patience or gratitude. Whatever it is, breathing it in and letting go of the opposite. This is the Tonglen practice. Taking in and letting go. Inhaling and exhaling. Opening your heart with compassion and gentleness. Inhaling and letting go. And now perhaps we'll switch gears to the more traditional Tonglen practice. And we'll move on to a real situation and begin doing Tonglen for a real situation or person. Maybe it's someone close to you, maybe a family member. And as you picture this person, you can inhale their suffering, not to take it on yourself, but just to meet it, to be present with it. And as you exhale, you can offer them some joy or freedom from suffering, some kindness and compassion. If there's something specific that they're going through that you can relate to, like perhaps anxiety, you can breathe in their anxiety, and as you breathe out, offer ease and contentment. Or if they're experiencing a physical illness, you can breathe in their pain or their illness and offer them some ease of body, using the breath as a cornerstone of this compassionate practice. What does this person need in this moment that you can offer with each exhale? Take in their suffering and offering out some balm, support. Breathing in with the wish that they are free of their suffering and pain, and breathing out, sending them happiness or that which you know can bring them happiness. Breathe in free of suffering, sending out a sense of relief, spaciousness, happiness to them. Now we're going to switch back to ourselves for a moment to think about, how do you experience suffering? It could be anything: anxiety, stress, wanting more, wanting less, resentments, or anger. You don't have to search for the perfect thing. Whatever comes up and is fresh in your heart, just to pick one for now. Where is that suffering or discontentment now? And if something comes up, say it's anxiety or anger, reflect on all the other people in the world who may feel that emotion or may have experienced it. And as you breathe in, breathing in the suffering of yourself and all the thousands of others or millions of people who are also struggling with this as well. Breathing in their collective pain and suffering, and breathing out spaciousness, love, relief, freedom. Deep breathing in, and a slow, deep breathing out. You're recognizing you're not alone in your experiences. And as you breathe in all the anxiety and stress or regret or loss, and as you exhale, offering compassion, relief, a wish for ourselves and for other people, all the other people who are experiencing this. You can stick with one emotion or you can work with another one if it arises. Just continue to focus on the breath, wishing ease for yourself and all others around the planet experiencing the same. Take a moment and continue this compassionate breathing exercise of Tonglen. Have a feeling of completely opening your heart and mind when you breathe in. There's no place for anything to get stuck. You're open, so wide, and so free. Your heart and your body are becoming a huge expanse, allowing for plenty of room and space. There's no limit to the amount of compassion and love and awareness that you can give off. You're a limitless vessel. Your heart has no limits. There are no limits to the compassion that you can breathe out to yourself and to others. Just feel the joy of that. There's no limits. And as you're sending the same openness outward, sending it outward towards everyone, the world, your family, and send it out with heart and encouragement. Take a moment to just enjoy this feeling of expansiveness, of letting go, of release, of limitlessness. When you're ready, you can slowly move back into the rhythm of just your own breathing in and out. You can let go of the heaviness or suffering that you're breathing in, but perhaps keep the love and openness and compassion that you're breathing out. Just feel your body sitting here and now, and feel the power of your breath and of your intention and of your expansiveness. And once again, you might want to see if you can just slightly move the corners of your mouth up into a gentle smile and feel the joy, the gratitude. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Namaste. 3 strong bells there at the end. that that was interesting and enjoyable. And I hope that you could feel the power of the Tonglen practice and that perhaps you enjoyed it. As per usual, I have a little poem, not so little poem, a poem to enjoy for the finish, for the end, as the cherry on top. This is a poem by Mary Oliver. She's quite a prolific poet here in North America. She spent most of her time in Massachusetts and Cape Cod, and then later in her life, very much later in her life, somewhat in Florida. And she has some really beautiful, some tremendous books of poetry. And this is one of her poems called The Journey by Mary Oliver. One day you finally knew what you had to do and began. Though the voices around you kept shouting their bad advice, through the whole house began to tremble, and you felt the old tug at your ankles. Mend my life, each voice cried, but you didn't stop. You knew what you had to do, though the winds pried with its stiff fingers at the very foundations, though their melancholy was terrible. It was already late, late enough and a wild night, and the road full of fallen branches and stones. But little by little, as you left their voices behind, the stars began to burn through the sheets of clouds, and there was a new voice, which you slowly recognized as your own, that kept you company as you strode deeper and deeper into the world, determined to do the only thing you could do, determined to save the only life you could save. I get chills at that last part. Determined to do the only thing you could do, determined to save the only life you could save. That was from her book of poems called Dream Work. I think what Mary Oliver was trying to say is that you can save other lives too. You know, a lot of us like to reach out and care for and know that we can help others, but before you do that, you need to save yourself. You need to listen to yourself. You need to be compassionate with yourself. And so the Tonglen practice of breathing in whatever it is that's causing us suffering and breathing out with an open, wide, compassionate heart is a process that enables us to save ourselves and so many others. Thank you for spending this last half an hour, 45 minutes with me. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you might be brave enough or courageous enough or interested enough to go online and look up Pema Chodron or Mary Oliver or Tonglen practice. Have a very nice day, a very nice week, and I look forward to the next time we meet. Take care.